Weather with this update this afternoon. So far, so good here across most of East Texas. We've had a couple of strong thunderstorms, but nothing severe at this time. We have plenty of cloudy skies, which again may be helping us just a little bit in terms of keeping the energy in the atmosphere just a little bit lower. And so as those thunderstorms move into East Texas, they just don't have as much to work with, not as much fuel to work with at this time. And so when that happens, that can kind of keep everything just at bay or just a little bit, I would say, not as strong as what it could be if we had full sunshine. We did not have any sunshine today. The temperatures have only reached 68 degrees, and as a result of only making it up to 68 degrees, we've just been able to keep that energy just slightly less than, let's say, sufficient for stronger thunderstorms. All right, here's what we have going on right now on CBS 19 radar. This is a live shot here at 4:01 on this Thursday afternoon, March 16th, day ahead of St. Patrick's Day. These are just showers. I do have the lightning turned on. I don't see much in the way of lightning at all up toward Ore City and Harleton and Gladewater back toward Kilgore. It looks like a little heavier shower there. Let's see. Tracy says it is raining in Longview. Thanks, Tracy. Always nice to have some good reports, some ground truth based on what radar is seeing, and that is a great way to confirm what we're seeing there. So I appreciate Tracy helping out. Kilgore, a little heavier rain. Gladewater, it's a little bit heavier, so that heavier rain will likely move into Longview. Here's a cell that has a lot of lightning with it. It's just moved out of Crockett into eastern parts of Houston County right now, and it's also moving through Groveton. Might be a little small hail inside this cell as it moves to the east and northeast roughly. Most of these cells have been moving in the order of about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Now, the indication of this one is that it is moving to the east at 30 miles an hour. So let's track that. Again, that's west of Alto, west of Wells, and west of Lufkin. Moving now through Groveton, but again, moving almost due east at 30 miles an hour. So that's going to take it into Apple Springs by 4:02, Wells by 4:19, Pollock at around 4:23, Lufkin at 4:33, then over toward Hurdy and Huntington between 4:39 and 4:49, and just before 5 o'clock, if that thunderstorm can hold together, it will reach Nacogdoches. Earlier, it did have what they would consider a strong thunderstorm tag on it, so it had some small hail, some gusty winds around 40 miles an hour, but it has not been severe warned yet. All right, Amy says we're seeing heavy rainfall in Hallsville and wind and lightning here as well. Light rain on Old Van Highway. Thanks, Roberta. White House raining pretty good with plenty of thunder rumbles. It's just raining off and on here in Dangerfield, says Brittany. So thank you, Brittany. Appreciate that. Again, those ground truth radar reports are sometimes often wonderful for us to hear just because we see radar, we see one thing on radar, and it can tell us one thing, and then to hear what folks are actually experiencing is just ever so helpful for sure. All right, this storm here that we just were pointing out in Houston County, moving to the northeast, it's racing to the northeast at roughly 50 miles an hour. There might be a little bit of small hail in that between Crockett and Kennard, and that continues moving east toward Wells. The wind impact with that is about a 7, so there may be some strong wind gusts also being produced out of that cell as it moves across eastern parts of Houston County. I'll go back up here to the north through Gilmer and Longview up toward Jefferson. We just had reports in Ore City of some rain, thunder coming down. Right now, rain picking up in intensity. You can see it moving out of Gladewater toward Harleton, up toward Warlock, continuing toward Jefferson and Marshall this afternoon. So, again, no warnings on these cells right now. In fact, we don't have any watch in place here in East Texas. Rains and Hopkins County are under a tornado watch until 9 o'clock. Meantime, out in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, they've had a very strong cell here that has moved through Parker and Tarrant County. I'll zoom in on this. They've had some softball-sized hail with this cell as it moved toward Mineral Wells a little bit ago. I'll stop it, and then I want to show you what happened with this cell here. So we'll look at the now, and then we'll look at a hail track on this storm. And this is quite the hail track. Savannah Hail was showing me the track as it moved through that area. Look at the hail track here. So from Mineral Wells through Weatherford, in those pink, dark purple areas, that's where we saw the possibility of some softball-sized hail there around Cool and Fox. 2.5-inch hail. Mineral Wells was a little bit larger, was estimated closer to 3 or 4 inches. So some big hailstones out to the west This is all, and I bring it up because once this line kind of gets linear on us, which is kind of redundant, linear line, but once you see these thunderstorms sort of line out and head in our direction, I think that's going to be the line that heads toward East Texas late tonight, and that should be a more widespread severe weather event for us. So we are by no means out of the woods just because we have not seen any severe weather yet. Again, we have a couple of showers, a couple embedded rumbles of thunder up toward Gilmer, Longview, heavier thunderstorm approaching Lufkin right now that is continuing to move to the east. All right, any other questions we got here? Looks like we've covered everyone who's commented or had a question. This is the wide view of everything. And what I'll point out on this radar satellite composite picture here is the dry line and the cold front. So the cold front is essentially back here toward Amarillo. Then out ahead of that, you've got the dividing line between the humid air and the drier air, and that's right in here west of Oklahoma City. And so, oops, that is not what I wanted to do with that. Let's try that again. We'll go back to this. There it is. So right in this vicinity here, you have the dry line. It did not draw it for me. But anyway, it's kind of west between Oklahoma City and Dallas, and that's why those thunderstorms are firing along that dry line. So as that moves to the east, those scattered showers and thunderstorms that we see here that are kind of clustered up and singular, these should become a line of thunderstorms later on tonight. And then back here in East Texas, just cloudy. And I think the clouds may have helped us so far today, kind of just keeping some of the energy and dampening down the severe thunderstorm. So here we go with future skycast. This is at 4:07 current time. You'll notice numerous showers and thunderstorms around the area, and these will all move off to the east by 5 o'clock. They're starting to move into Louisiana, and so there's a little bit of a lull after 6:30, and then out to the west, Sulphur Springs to Emory about 8 o'clock. We'll see the showers and thunderstorms line up, and each area along the leading edge of those thunderstorms could contain some wind gusts in the order of about 60 miles an hour. And then they'll move into Tyler just before 10 o'clock. Gilmer and Athens also just around 10 o'clock. And so as those thunderstorms move in here, expect some strong gusty winds, some small hail, maybe an embedded tornado warning. So again, we're just not out of the woods yet. By 11 to 11:15, those thunderstorms have moved into deep East Texas from Crockett to Nacogdoches to Carthage, and they continue to move towards Center, San Augustine, and Lufkin at about 1 o'clock in the morning, and then finally out of the area. And then a light cold rain will develop tomorrow morning. So here's the recap. Key takeaways: isolated severe thunderstorms still possible for the rest of this afternoon. Widespread storms tonight, high winds, large hail. Tornado cannot be ruled out. The severe threat will end after midnight, but probably not until closer to 2 o'clock over parts of deep East Texas. So right now, just a severe tornado watch for rains in Hopkins County. Currently in East Texas, there are no severe thunderstorm warnings. All right, we're going to wrap up this coverage here on Facebook and our YouTube channel, and also on CBS19.tv. And we will get ready for CBS 19 News at 5. That starts in just about 50 minutes. We will see you then. Thanks for watching, and stay safe this afternoon.